Every year there is a list of classic car shows that no blue-blooded enthusiast can miss. Cars in the Park, the George Old Car Show and Angela's Picnic are the first that spring to mind. And now there's another one at the Nasrec Expo Centre that's sure to become an institution.
We first had our first one in Callisto, second one in News Cafe, our third one we had to move it to Nasrec. Today we've got over 2,000 classic cars here. Muscle, V8s, hot rods, there's everything.
This classic car show wasn't only about Mustangs and Morgans. There was also a sizable contingent of left fielders.
This is a 1961 DKW, also called an Auto Union, and she's 1000cc. Due to their performance abilities, the owner used to take the door panels out, remove the seats, and then do streetcar racing with her down the streets of Elliot on Sunday afternoons.
Okay, this is a Lancia Fulvia 1.3 Rally S. Well, was basically the first Fulvias that came out.
This is a Lincoln Continental 1958 model Mark III. It's got a Ford 7-litre V8 and it goes like a dream.
This is a Chevrolet 4.1 1974 model. Very low mileage, completely original, nothing has been upgraded, nothing has been changed so far.
Over the course of the weekend, thousands of visitors flocked to the Expo Centre, testament to the fact that old cars are starting to appeal not only to aficionados, but to the general public as well.
You know, a lot of this has been brought on by TV itself. You've got Pimp My Ride, you've got chasing classic cars, you've got overhauling, and even the youngsters of today. I mean, you know, these cars are really come back into the market. If you look at all the adverts, whether it be clothing or anything, you can see it's got an old car in it. You know, if you look at most of the music videos, the guys that are buying these cars are from all ages. You know, there's youngsters from school that aspire to have it, and then we've got the older guys that are, I mean, they've had the Porsches, they've had the Ferraris, and now they're buying Mustangs and the Camaros and the Chargers.
If pop culture has helped many classic cars rise to fame, it's worth remembering that many of them were already famous in their own right. The Mark III Continental, for instance, at 5.8 meters, is one of the largest unibody cars ever built. Weighing in at more than 2.3 tons, it is also one of the heaviest. But of course, it does boast a fair amount of kit.
It's got full electric windows, even the rear window slides down. And it's got an automatic pickup that when you're driving with your brides, it will switch off to dims automatically. For a 1958 was a good feature. This car, I think, originally was brought out from the USA for a movie. People really appreciate this kind of car.
The little Fulvia Rally is a textbook example of the Pygmalion effect. Towards the end of its life in 1972, the 1600 HF won the FIA Cup, that was later to become the WRC.
It's unique, you don't see it. Everything about it's different. The controversy, the engine, I mean, if you look at the engine, it's a narrow V4. You don't see engines like that around here. It's got disc brakes, front, back. Just everything about the Lancias, it's stunning. My dad bought it in the early 80s, I believe. It was around about 1981, and he restored it then, and it's been in. He sold it to my aunt, my mom's sister, in 1989, and they've had it till up to 2008 when I bought it back.
This DKW wasn't the only one used for racing exploits. In 1965, it kick-started the career of a local and international racing legend.
These cars were made fairly famous in South Africa by one of our top race drivers of that time, Sarel van der Merwe, who became a legend racing these cars around the track. And being a two-stroke, I think it made it even more amazing that he managed to maneuver these cars on the track at that type of speed performance. Unfortunately, DKW stopped producing these cars in the mid-1960s due to one of the coldest winters that they had in Europe, where the carburetors kept freezing up and they seized their motors, and that was the end of two-stroke.
South Africans lapped up the 3.8 and 4.1 Chevys as quickly as the company could produce them, and in 1975 it became the best-selling six-cylinder car in the Republic.
I don't drive it regularly, I respect it, you know. I drive it occasionally. When driving this car, it attracts a lot of people, you know. It's no longer a car that you can see on the road most of the time. You can just imagine a 1974 vehicle being driven currently now in a very, very good conditions. Then you can just imagine that, you know. It's just a pure pleasure.
The good news for those who missed out on the show is that you won't have to wait until October to feast your eyes on this giant gathering of old cars.
On our 3rd of March, on our next classic car show, we're going to take the whole of Nasrec.
Well, what we also want to do is, we want to turn this into a SEMA show, so where you'll have the parts, you'll have the paint companies, and we'll do it properly, do it big.